One brand I haven't really looked into is Benrus, and they've recently done a reissue of their iconic 1972 design, the Type I. This watch is new to me, so tonight I'm going to speak briefly about the brand as well as this classic styled, super tough military watch. So let us begin. Benrus is an American brand out of New York. It was founded in 1921 by the three Lazarus brothers, headed up by Benjamin. They came up with the brand's name by taking the first part of the name Benjamin and the last bit of their last name, hence Benrus. The brand has a rich history of successful watch lines, and in the 1960s they won a contract to supply watches to US soldiers. Throughout the mid to late 60s, they produced a field watch called the DTU-2A, and they produced what is claimed to be the first ever plastic military watch. In 1972, under military contract, they produced the Type I and Type II, the main difference between the two being their dials. What's interesting is these pieces weren't made available to the general public. I thought the brand had survived until today without disruption, but then I noticed this statement on their About Us page. Driven by the past, but motivated by the future, Benrus reignites its storied history of creating reliable and quality timepieces for the everyday hero. That prompted me to revisit the Worn and Wound write-up on the Type I. The link to that article is in the description below, by the way, and it sounds like the brand had kind of died and has recently been resurrected. So let's take a look at the Type I reissue. The Type I is really cool looking. It's nice and minimal, there's no date, it's a super military looking dive watch. It has an asymmetrical case. The entire right side sticks out a bit and becomes the crown guards. The dial is extremely minimal. As I mentioned, it does not have a date window. It has dot indices with a triangle marker at the 12 and batten markers at the 3, 6, and 9. And that's it. The dial is completely sterile. As for the specifications on this watch, the case is stainless steel, it has a sapphire crystal, the movement inside this watch is an ETA 2681. It has 300 meters of water resistance, the case width is 42.5 millimeters. However, the way that right side sticks out, I'm pretty sure it would wear more like a 40 millimeter. The lug to lug is 47.7 millimeters. The case height is 14.8 millimeters. It has 20 millimeter lugs, a screw down crown, and at the time of this recording, it sells for about $1,700. If you visit Benrus's website and go to the Type I webpage, there's a really cool tool there that allows you to compare the original 1972 Type I with the 2020 reissue. I've included a link to that page in the description below. Tonight's shout out goes to a YouTube channel called Wristwatch Revival. I just saw his video servicing a vintage Benrus that he bought on eBay, and I learned so much watching that video. I've included a link to it in the description below. So there you have it, a reissue of an iconic 1970s military watch, and the reissue looks nearly identical to its ancestor. Thanks for watching.